Yeah, I know a student who was staying at Kepayan, Lido, Tuaran, no current. Other than Ivan, who else? The house, no electricity, no electricity right now. Kepayan, fine. Oh, your area, fine. Okay. Ivan, do you receive any notice? If later on you can't join us, you just upload. I mean, you apply leave with the notice, electricity notice. I know these few days, many places cut off, no electricity. You will see how's going on. Anyway, my voice clear, not this afternoon? Loud enough? Clear? Not clear? Now clear? Up, down? Up, down. Let me adjust. Up, down. How about now? Still up, down, or up, or down, down? Can't hear. How about other students? Can't hear also. Let me check my how about now? Maybe my cable have to readjust a little bit. How about now? Still the same? Not clear? Okay. Clear enough or too soft? Little bit soft? So far so good? Yeah, let me enhance my speaker. Can someone turn on your microphone? Let me hear your voice.
Hello, yes.
Oh, clear. I can hear you. Farrell, can you hear me clearly?
Yes, I can.
Yes, all right. Maybe just now this morning I unplugged and didn't plug it properly. How are you all this afternoon? Everybody here already? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 2 students not here yet, but anyway, we will just... Oh, okay. Kevin raised hand. Thank you. Let me present my screen. Yeah, please. Yeah, please raise hand if you hear me clearly. Yeah, my normal practice, right? Hear me clearly. No problem. We can start class and please raise hand. Let me start recording. How's everything going on today? Everyone fine? Everyone has enough sleep? Just got test to prepare. When is your test? Luckily, our course, no test. So nice, the course coordinator. Short SEM, so we are big portion allocated to assignment. No test in this course. Test tomorrow. Wish you all the best for your test tomorrow. Tomorrow is Friday. Tomorrow we have another round, project manager presentation. Let me present my screen now. Today we will cover risk management. So another attribute, another section where you need to include in the reports, another individual work. So after my class, after tutorial tomorrow, you all should be able to complete the whole report, the whole written report. Let me share screen. Risk management. Are you ready? Lecture notes is in the Google Drive. Let me look at here. We have about 40, so I mean 30 plus slides on it today. So we can go very slow today. Everyone ready? My slide clear? Let me check my screen here. All right, clear. Risk management. Let's start. You may put down your hand. Right, may put down your hand when you are ready. Chapter number 5, Risk Management, Table of Content. Risk management processes, planning, identification, projection, refinement. So we need to understand all this. Later on, you might need to identify type of a risk available. You need to prepare uh, the schedule, the table to show risk mitigation, monitoring, management. Last part, safety, risk, and hazards. So now we look at here. Risk is the possibility of loss or injury. Do I need to enlarge too big already? Big enough? Let me check. The screen big enough? Everybody see it clearly? 65. Like this. Big enough. All right, let's continue here. Possibility of a loss or injury. So risk management is one of the most important jobs, one of the most important job for project manager. So project risk management is the art of identify, assigning, responding to risk throughout the life of the object in the best interest of meeting project objective. So this risk management involve type of risk that might affect the project schedules or the quality of the software being developed. As well, the project manager might need to take relevant actions to avoid those kind of risks. They can be avoided, can be mitigated, can be there are few sequences, not say sequences, processes where we were going to cover later. So no matter how well, no matter how good our plan, our project always, uh, we will always encounter unexpected problem. Yeah, no matter how well we plan our schedule, our cost, but we have no idea when and what type of problem will be occur and when, what is the size, what is the scale, no idea at all. Those full with uncertainty. Let's say suddenly a team member gets sick, we can't foresee those happen. Or your team member quit halfway. They found a better job, they want to resign. So suddenly all the resources that you are depending on suddenly unavailable. Then those are risks. So how are we going to overcome it, solve the problem? Risk is uncertain. Uncertain means we cannot foresee, but not all risks are negative. Yeah, not all risks are negative. Some event or condition, let's say changes price. Materials or certain materials change price, lower prices, changes can help the project. Instead of risk, we might call it as opportunity. But the way we handle it, just like how we handle the risk. So this risk involve understanding potential problem that might occur The goal of project risk management is minimize. Yeah, minimize potential risk while maximize potential opportunity. So it's often overlooked in project, but it can help to improve project success by helping select good project, determine the scope, and also realistic estimates. Next one, we look at reactive and also proactive risk strategy. So reactive here means deal with the risk. So the problem already occur. Proactive means we deal the risk. Yeah, the risk already occur, problem already there. Now we will perform some action to solve it. Not saying solve, can be mitigate, can be reduce the degree of the damage towards a project. So this proactive risk management tries to reduce damage. Yeah, we cannot avoid because already happened. Yeah, here mentioned already arise. So proactive risk strategy try to reduce damage. Right? And also at the same time, I speed up the organization recovery from the damage. However, proactive risk strategy, we look at definition here. Before technical work started, potential risks are identified. Their probability and impact are assessed, ranked by importance. After that, contingency plan. Primary objective is to avoid risk. So this is a keyword. So proactive risk strategy to avoid risk. So throughout this chapter, we will going to discuss this, yeah, more on this topic, proactive strategy for risk management. Now, identify the risk before it happened. The keyword for this is before it happened, we will identify first. We will avoid it to be happen. So proactive risk management is all about taking preventive measurement before the event become severity, become serious. Preventive. So avoid risk here also means preventive. So those terms you can use interchangeably. Preventive measures. Proactive will give the team more control, so you can decide which issue will be top priorities, what potential damage that you are willing to accept. You put it in a ranking. Which one has to be avoid first, based on the severity or the seriously. But of course, we understand that not all kind of risk can be avoided. That's why the team will work on developing the contingency plan that will enable to respond, in controlling the risks in effective manner. So what is contingency plan here? Developed to enable them to respond to the risk in control. Okay, in control and effective manner. Any questions so far? Straightforward, right? Oh, yeah. Okay, thank you. Yeah, the content, this chapter much more easier to be, more understandable than the previous topic. This one more straightforward. Yeah, process by process, category by category. We look at risk management processes. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Risk planning involve deciding how to approach and plan the risk management activity for the project. It's the name of planning. Second, risk identifications. So the main output for risk identification is the risk reports. So output here is the risk reports and also updates to the project document. Determine which risks are likely to affect the project and documenting their characteristics. Also can be arranged according priority. Yeah, identify type of risk and then rank it based on a priority. So number 3 is about qualitative risk analysis. So after identify the risk, project team can use various tools and technique to rank the risk that already been identified in the previous process. Okay, prioritize. They can use different tools or techniques. Okay. Sorry, my books falling down. Let me take it. All right, next one, next process, quantitative risk analysis. So what is this about? Look at the name there, quantitative. What means by quantitative? Something that you can measure. So after identify the risk here, yeah, after identify the risk and ranking, project team, hang on, this one is a qualitative, this one is quantitative. Qualitative use different tools or method to rank the risk. So for quantitative, involve numerical estimations. Okay, involve numerical estimations, the effect of the risk towards project objective. So let me jot down some of the keyword here. Quantitative here involve numerical estimation. So we put in numbers, something that we can measure, we can compare. So next one, risk response planning here. We'll use the output from the previous processes. Yeah, based on the output from the previous risk management processes, now the team member, now the project team, they can develop the risk response strategy. Yeah, risk response planning or strategy. Strategies. So taking steps to enhance opportunity and reduce threat so that they can meet the project objective. The last processes here, risk monitoring and control. So what is it about? Look at explanation here. Monitoring, this one important, yeah. Always has this term, monitoring or control at the end of every processes. Monitoring non-risk, identify if there is any new risk, evaluate the effectiveness of the risk reduction that already been identified in the previous processes. If using any tools or method before, now it's time to evaluate whether it is efficient or not. So next slide. Look at the diagram here. So from where is it? From this book. Yeah. I think you ever saw this book before. So risk management processes in 4 main involve several stages. So here listed 4, referring to this one of the main reference books. Risk identification, project manager and project team, they should be able to identify lists of possible, hang on, let me rephrase. The team, the project team, they should be able to identify possible business risks, not only on the business risk, also including project risk, product risk. So 3 type of risks here. Risk towards the product, risk towards the project, and then is there any risk towards the business? So these 3 areas. So second, risk analysis will assess the consequences. So after priority, they need to assess the consequences of the risk. So here talk about they need to assess consequences, prioritize consequences. Risk planning, make the plan to address, make a plan to address all kind of a risk, avoid the effects, trying to minimize the effects to the product, project, or business. Risk avoidance or trying to minimize the effect. Last one, risk monitoring. This one, monitoring should be done, regularly. Regularly assess the risk assessment, and then plan for risk mitigation. Risk mitigation. What does this mean by mitigations? Anyone know? Type your answer in the chat box. Yeah, rather than just here, try to squeeze a little bit. Any more other answer other than Kelvin? Still alert, others maybe fall asleep. Nice weather this afternoon. Right, 3 of you all are correct. Is this that Norway reduce? Reduce what? Yeah, reduce damage, yes. Lower down the seriousness of the risk impact, yes, accurate. All are correct, yeah. Thank you for your feedback here. So next one, we come back to here. So what are the type of risks that you can think of? Can you name one type of risk? No matter whether product, project, or business, any type of risk that you can think of. Maybe every one of you, write down what one type of risk that you can think of. If you are doing business or in your project, identify one type of risk. Bankrupt, natural disaster. Yes, some more. Any other answer? Everybody. Yeah, afternoon time, so cozy this weather. Everybody, COVID-19 pandemic. Yes. Betul sekali. Some more? Other answer? Other type of risk? Every one of you. Setiap satu. Who else? Let me look at the list. Everyone are here this afternoon, but seems Noel, Farrell, Kelvin, and Ian only 4% active. Others, where are you? Oh, Solomon absent, huh? Nathan here. Demotivated. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Then immediately we will think of one corrective action. Yes, correct, Nathan. That's also one of the risks. So we have to suggest how to, what action we can do. Next one, workplace hazard. Yes, correct. Some more. Economy. Your this one term sangat so wide. I mean you're giving one keyword and then could you please explain a little bit more, elaborate a little bit more longer, Jeremiah, instead of one words there. Yeah, at least you got two words, right? Celine's have staff unavailability. Then we know instead of a one word staff or unavailable, when you make it two words, now everything clear. Staff not available, sick, or sick. Certainly not didn't come to work, resign. Yeah, that's a normal, normal risk, and we have no idea when, and no symptom at all before the staff absent from their work. Some more stakeholder withdraw. Yes, there are plenty of answer. Yeah, staff turnover, the experienced staff suddenly they leave the project before the project finish. Can you imagine? You have your software developer, your key person developing module, and then halfway, not up to half, maybe 30-40%, your developer told you, oh, sorry, boss, I cannot continue. I have to leave. Without any good reason, they leave the project. Then how are you going to overcome it? Other common risks like hardware unavailability, or maybe another one, size underestimate, size of the system. The time that we are doing, then only we know actually the scope. What we are planning to do is much more wider than what we are planning. With the size underestimate, other than hardware unavailability, software tools underperformance also could be a risk. Okay, so all these example, please jot it down. This might help you to identify risks in your assignment. Let me show you the reason why we discuss. So I give you some idea here. Where is that already? This part? This part? Yeah. This one. You see, this one, you need to identify one possible challenge, one type of risk. So whatever we discuss now, you can jot it down. I give you some idea, whichever relevant to your project. So other than the previous, what else? Technology change. Product competition. So in terms of a business, this part. Here, potential risk can be towards the product, project, or business. Yeah. How about if let's say your products, the competitive products marketed already out in the market before your system completed. Then how? You are initially you feel, I mean you are doing something newer in the market. So excited doing it. Suddenly you receive the news your competitors, they are launching the new products earlier than you. So how are you going to what is it, to not say solve, not say avoid, not say how to mitigate degree of damage or losses towards your project. So all these things have to list it down. Next one, we look at risk management planning. Yeah, I did mention just now the main output in a risk management planning is risk management plan, which addresses the following question. Okay, I will not going to read all for you. Please take your time to go through all these question marks. So the risk management plan document is a procedure that to managing risk throughout the whole project. The project team should hold several meetings. Yeah, they should hold several meetings earlier in the project life cycle to help develop the risk management plan. So this one. Have meeting together, all the project team members at the beginning of the project to prepare the plan, risk management plan. So this risk management plan will summarize how risk management will be performed on particular project. So particular project, of course, need to look at what's your project objective. Okay, look at all these question mark here. Here listed down several topics that in the risk management plan shall be addressed out. Let's say who is a person shall be responsible in this plan. When will the milestone associated? How much is required to mitigate the risk? Yeah, all these are the general topic that shall be addressed in the risk management plan. It's important to clarify the role and responsibility. Okay, other than that, like the budget, schedule, all these are related to all these are risk-related work. Has to be clearly identified and consider the impact. The level of the details. Then you might ask, how detailed is it this plan shall be? The level of the detail is different and depends the needs of the project. So same goes to your project. I cannot give you an exact answer how detailed shall your project document should be. Depends on the needs of your project. So role and responsibility here. Which people are responsible to implement this part here, to implement specific tasks and provide deliverables which is related to the risk management. This must have, this part, this one must have, need to be identified at the earlier stage. Budget and schedule also another key term here. The budget, not here. So budget, schedule. Questions such as, what are the estimated costs and schedule for performing risk-related activities? What are the main category of the risk that should be addressed on the project? Is there any risk breakdown structure for the project? So breakdown structure here, or WBS, work breakdown structure generally is in a hierarchy-based form. This is what they call WPS, hierarchy, level by level. So I believe in your project, you already apply this in your project, what's that, organization, team. Not the organization chart, We are looking this the one that in your report shall be the the hierarchy of your project team member. Next one, we look at what is contingency plan, what is fallback, what is contingency reserve or allowances. Okay, 30 seconds to all of you gone through the slide. Yeah, 30 seconds. Look at the definition for each. Done. So in addition to the risk management plan, many projects also include these three: contingency plan, fallback plan, contingency reserves, or allowances. So what is a contingency plan here? Predefined action will take if an identified risk event occurs. So it's a series of actions that designed to help the organization respond to the event that may or may not be occur. Okay, I repeat, contingency plan in general is a series of actions that designed to help the organization respond to the event that may or may not be happen. So mean they prepare first. Some people they just call it a contingency plan is a plan B. If a plan A doesn't work, then they will go to plan B, contingency plan. So alternative actions. If things didn't go as what they planned, then they will go to plan B. They will go to contingency plan. It's an alternate plan which is developed for those risks that would have a high impact on the project. If let's say I give you example this contingency plan, if project teams knows that there is a new release of the software package. Okay, let me rephrase. If the project team knows that the software package that they are developing, the release dates later than what they plan, means will not be available in time to use for the project. So the team member might have a contingency plan instead of using the new release one, since cannot be produced or available on time. Then contingency plan would be they might going to use the existing or old version of the software. So mean alternate plan. How about fallback plan here? Developed for risks that have a high impact on meeting project objective. Is a backup, backup for contingency plan. Okay, I repeat, fallback plan here is a backup for the contingency plan. Let's say graduates, they have a plan. So after graduate, they are looking for where will they going to stay after graduates. But they have a few options whether they would like to stay here or there. But if let's say all the plan doesn't work, then how? Plan B doesn't work. Plan A cannot. Plan B doesn't work. Then the last fallback plan would be they might just stay at home. But in some reference, they use this both. Some of the reference, these two terms, contingency plan and fallback plans, they use interchangeably. Some of the reference, but anywhere shall be, this is plan B. So this is a backup to plan B. How about contingency reserve or allowances here? What are the keywords here? Provision held by the project sponsor that can be used to mitigate costs, quality occur. So this is the allowance of funds, FUNDS, included in the cost baseline that can be used to mitigate costs. Or schedule overruns if the non-risks occur. So this contingency reserve in the budget, could be the percentage of the overall budget. It could be also a fixed amount or the amount that determined based on the project quantitative analysis. So for example, if a project, the workers, the staff not experienced with the new technology. Okay, I repeat the example here. If let's say the staff in the project, they are new, they have not enough experience in using the new technology in the project. So that's also one of the risks, right? So how contingency reserve should be, how to deal with it? They could hire outside consultant, to train or advise your staff in using the new technology. So they have the risk. After that, they have the percentage of the budget that way, or fixed amount that way they can use to hire outside consultant or give trainings to the staff, for them to use a new technology, overcome the risk. Next one. Risk identifications. Look at the slide here. Let me highlight keyword to you. Avoid, identify and then avoid them. Controlling them when necessary. So two type of risk here. Generic, product specific. Yeah, please highlight your notes here. Generic and product specific risk. This risk identification is the first stage in risk management process. Yeah, you go back to the previous slide. So this is a concern about identifying the risk. Identifying the risk that could be produced or could be caused or could be pose a major threat to the software processes. So this risk identification, not only by a single person, it's a team process. So all the team members should work together, brainstorm. Sitting together in a room or in a table, discuss together, brainstorm what type of risk, identify type of a risk associated with their project, product, and also businesses. So project manager here will identify the risk based on their experience. Someone who has experienced similar project done before, so they know what went wrong on the previous project. Use the experience before, apply it to the current project. All right, so far so good, everyone?
Oh, yeah.
So to identify generic risk here, potential threat to every software project. For the product specific risk here, we look at the definition here. Clear understanding technology in here. So this, to identify project-specific risks, the project planner and the software statement will be examined and answer several questions, such as what are the spatial characteristics of the product, spatial characteristic or attributes of the product may threaten the project plan. So the attribute in this example is accuracy. Yeah, what type of spatial attribute or characteristic of the product way might threaten the product plan? So you need to answer that question. So example in this case here is in the medical system, accuracy would be the risk. We look at the next slide here. Characteristic of the risk can be uncertainty, can be loss. Uncertainty here means may or may not be happen. Not 100%, not sure, not say not sure. Can be happen or can may not be happen. Yeah, let me list it down. May or may not happen. Uncertain, but we can plan. How about loss? How about loss? If the risk become reality, mean occur, happen, then for sure unwanted consequences or losses will be occur. So mean when the risk become reality, so mean it happen, so might cause unwanted consequences. So these consequences, there are a lot of example consequences you can write it in if you want to justify your answer, or losses. So next one, 3 type of software risk: project risk, technical risk, process risk. There are many others, but we only emphasize on this business risk. So project risk here threaten the project plan. So if the project risk become real, something like will disturb, will disturb or threaten the project schedule. Not only schedule, might also affect the cost. The cost also could be increased. So the common project risk here, not really well defined because there are too many. The project schedule also not clearly defined or understood. Okay, here let me list down an example for you. Examples of project risk here. So this one usually occur at the beginning of the project planning. What is that? When the purpose of the project not well defined, when the schedule, project schedule also not clearly defined. So these are the two common risks, common project risks. So other than this, what else? Let's say the estimation, cost estimation, not accurate enough. Yeah, the purpose, the schedule, cost estimation, error, or even lack of communication. Also under project risk. Lack of communication here will cause lack of what is that, clarity. You didn't communicate with the team member. They are not understand what you want. Lack of clarity and might cause also confusion. How about technical risk here? Threaten quality, timeline of the schedule. What do you understand by this technical risk? Anyone want to try? Yeah, instead of I'm the one and only who talking, maybe you want to try this. Give some example, technical risk. So scary if too quiet, everybody. Are you still here? Can you raise your hand if you're still here? Alert. You're still alert. You're still sitting up right in front of your computer. You're not lying, what that? Lying comfortably on your bed. Noted, Elvin. Noted. How about Ivan? Ivan here. Okay. Let's look at here. Maybe Pharaoh tea break already, yeah? I remember last time Pharaoh mentioned what, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, makan KFC. But I'm not sure now. Okay, good. Everybody is still alert. Let's come back. I'll give you a tea break sekejap, yeah? In a few more minutes. Let me finish this slide. So if let's say the technical risks become reality, then the implementation will become difficult or impossible. So technical risks here including the implementation problem and also maintenance problem. Okay, technical risk here, you can jot it down. Technical risk including all sort of implementation and maintenance problem. For business risks, so there are few common business risks such as we are doing our best to develop an excellent product or system, but in reality, building the excellent product by us not is no one really want it. Maybe one or two, but not majority, not so many. That's one of the business risks. You have the market, but the percentage, yeah, or the potentials of the products is not that satisfied. Not say satisfied. What's a key term? Not as expected. Or another business risk would be you are building up a product that no longer fit into the overall business strategy of the company. Maybe management change, yeah, entire management change, strategy also change. So the time that you completed your product no longer fit into the latest overall business strategy. And could it be the product that you will develop, the sales force, yeah, marketing team, they doesn't really understand in detail what is the product about, and they don't know how to sell it. That's also under business risk. Okay, what else? Can you think of one? Or maybe another one is about management. Yeah? Business risk including a management risk. The group of management, the senior management, they are resign. You don't have this group of a member who will support you as how they did previously. So due to the change of the people, management risk. Yeah, management risk also under business risk. no longer supporting. No, not say no longer supporting. The group of people who always support you, they are not here there anymore. So you could find difficulty. If you need help, they are not there. Okay, so far?
Okay.
Okay, so we will come back to this later after tea break. 11. Oh, 30. Okay, can 15 minutes. So we come back 3:45. Oh, Pharaoh here already. Let's come back to the class. Everyone here? Jeremiah, Shak, Daniel, are you here? Daniel, not here. Oh, yeah. All right. Thank you, Pharaoh. Thank you, Pharaoh, for informing. Ivan, maybe the house no electricity yet. Handphone, yeah, using handphone can raise. God, little hand is here. Ivan, your house got electricity already? No idea. Not sure. Yeah, good to hear that. Not too line lagging. Let's continue. This is Dendish Group IT Success Potential Risk Scoring Sheet and a risk questionnaire. So this is how there are different methods used to identify risks. You can use this way. This point assigned after a group meeting by team member. So sample risk questionnaire. So this is a good method lah. Especially the risk questionnaire. Good method to understand common sources of risk in a project. Just now we already discussed project risk, technical risk, business risk, other category of risk such as a market risk, financial risk, and technology risk. So this one I will leave it to you. What went wrong? This is a case study. Next, we look at techniques 5.4. So 4 techniques: brainstorming, Delphi technique, interview, and SWOT analysis. Okay, no explanation. So let me explain briefly. So brainstorming here. What is brainstorming? Anyone want to share your opinion? What is brainstorming? Group communication, yes. Sitting together, thinking together, creative idea, yes. Discuss together. What are the potential risks? Keep their ideas flowing. Storm all the brands, yes. One person, one brand, not enough. So I must be involved more than one person. So after the ideas collected, the facilitator will group and categorize all the ideas to make it more manageable. Yeah, even though we call it brainstorming, everybody involved, but need one person to lead. We call facilitator. At the end of the brainstorming session, this facilitator will categorize all sort of idea, make it manageable, and then list it down. Yeah, use it for further action. How about Delphi technique here? Use repeated rounds. Yeah, repeated rounds of questionings and written responses, including feedbacks to responses in the earliest round. They will take advantage of group discussion input, and then they try to avoid any possible bias effect. So this is a questionnaire and a responses session, repeated round, okay, more than one round until they get the final final results. So to use this Delphi technique, we need to select a panel of experts who are good in a particular area where they are discussing. So each expert will answer questions related to the situations. So interview we know is a fact-finding techniques. Interview can be through face-to-face, through phone, through email, through a virtual discussions. So SWOT analysis, S stand for, S stand for, what is that? W stand for, O stand for, T stand for. What is SWOT analysis? What is S? What is W? What is O? What is T? Never heard this before? I think your marketing, huh? How about others? Other than Norway's group? I think from diploma. Yeah, from diploma you should learn before. SWOT stand for your strength, your organization strength, your project strength. W stand for weaknesses. O stand for opportunity. T stand for threats. Yeah. Strength, weaknesses, opportunity, and threat. So this SWOT analysis most oftenly used in strategic planning. What is a strategic planning? Strategic planning here involves a top management who are planning what is going to happen to the organizations like 3 to 5 years time later. So this SWOT analysis also can be used during the risk identification so that the teams, the project team, they might focus on a different perspective. Particular risk, particular project, what is the strength, weaknesses, opportunity, and threat to the current project. Next one, knowledge area. What is this? Potential risk condition associated with each knowledge area. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 with their explanation. So understanding the common sources of risk is very helpful in risk identifications. So that will be the next step in project risk management. Here we look at the checklist. This checklist created to identify the following generic subcategory. What is the project size, business impact, customer characteristics, and also process definitions. This one, still about the checklist. Okay, continue from here. So subcategory also included development, environment, technology, and also staff size and experience. How about this? These are the questions that questions that are ordered by their relative importance to the success of the project are used to identify overall project risk. So all these questions can be used in this stage, risk identifications. So if one of these questions is answered negatively, then we might need to proceed to the next step. Mitigation, monitoring, management, and steps. So we need to understand this. This is the core of this topic. Okay, let's look at. So this is the impact of each risk. There are 4 categories here. Negligible, marginal, critical, and catastrophic. We have a table. We have a sample table here. Take a look. Okay, take a look. Give you maybe 30 minutes. Look at what is this? risk impact category. So what means by negligible here? The event that occur but would have no effect on the program, or maybe just a less or very minor degradations. Marginal, if this event occur, could cause moderate cost or schedule increases. Critical, if this event occur, might cause the program failure or inability to achieve the minimum acceptable requirements. If catastrophic, the overall missions failure, loss of system, so seriously or severity, from here minimum to maximum. Okay, and the relevant category. So this one I leave it to you. Next one, risk projection. Risk projection or risk estimation, both are the same. So the attempts to rate each risk in two ways: likelihood, probability, and then the other one is consequences. So the project manager with other manager as well technical staff, they might perform these 4 risk projection steps. Scale, identify consequences, estimate what's the impacts of the risk, and also assess the overall accuracy of the risk projection so that they will not be, to avoid any misunderstanding. Risk table, a lot of table for today. Risk table, here, risk table, this one. Okay, go to this slide. Take note this one. This is important. You need to have this table in your assignment. So explanation. Let me look at here. The risk table provide project manager with a simple technique for risk projections. So they are in total 5 columns. Column number 1, list all type of risks. Column number 2, imply to the project size, category. Then probability, impact, as well as RMMS here stand for, who knows, RMMS. Who want to guess what is that? Here. Risk, education, monitoring, and management plan. So category here can be split to PS is a project size risk, BU stand for business risk. So end user receive system, this is under business risk. Funding will be lost, customer characteristics, DE development environment, lack of training on tools, staff size and experience, higher staff turnover, staff inexperience. Okay, go through every single category. And then this probability occurs. So this value come from discussion from the team member, project team member. Yeah, the chances, the probability to be occur. And then impact also. Yeah, the value also a point from the team member. Of course, after the meeting, after their discussions. Okay, this part is the one that you need to find out based on your system. What is the risk? How you mitigate it? How to monitor? How to manage? We have a sample later, towards the end. Okay, later we will look at the sample. Now we continue. Risk projection. Okay, turn on this slide. Risk priority, how to pronounce it? Prioritization. So once the first 4 columns of the risk table have to completed, the table is sorted by probability and impact. So this is how the sequence of how we correct this table. What else? Study the resultant sorted table and define what is the cut-off line. Risk above the line will be given further attention. Risks that below the line will re-evaluate second order prioritizations. You need to do the calculation later. Yeah, there is a score. Of course, need to find out what is a cut-off line. All the value that above, what should it be done as mentioned here? Risks that above the line we might need to have further attention. We need further action. Any corrective action can be done to solve or any other way to overcome it. So high impact risk with moderate to high probability and low impact risk with high probability. Wow, so difficult this line. Let me highlight. High impact risk. Moderate to high probability occurrence, and low impact risk, but high probability. So I mean, no matter the impact is low or high, as long as probability is moderate to high, then need to spend some time to re-evaluate. So the column RMMM contain the pointer to the mitigation, monitoring, and also management. Okay, what is this figure trying to show here? So from here we can see the risk impact here. Risk impact and the probability of occurrence have a distinct influence on a management concern. So with high impact risk with moderate to high probability, the sentence just now, and also low impact of risk with high probability occurrence. So as long as probability of occurrence is moderate and high, then should be carried out forward. Yeah, should be carried forward the risk analysis. You need to spend more time to manage management concerns. Yeah, management concern here means spend more time to manage those kind of risks. Here, next slide, consequences. 3 factors affect the consequences: nature, scope, timing. So all the example is listed here. This one I leave it to you. We look at here. Assessing risk impact. So what's the formula here? RE here, risk exposure. RE metric can be measured using probability of occurrence times costs to the project should the risk occur. So P times C. So here give you risk projection example, risk identification, probability. This is the impact, and also what is the exposure? Yeah, P times C. So you can refer this slide. I mean, if you want to proceed with your assignment, you can refer this, but this one no need place in. Look at the exercise. You have the answer already in your notes. P times C. So probability P. Okay, this one is this one is an impact. Huh? Risk score. What does it mean? What does it shows? Anyone? Oh, this value, what does it mean? Who want to try? Higher value means what? Lower value means what? Anyone? What can we conclude from this exercise? Higher impact of risk and then need further risk analysis. Further risk analysis, correct. 2.4. Oops. Lack of training tools. So how to solve this? Okay, 1.2. 2.4. How to solve this? Lack of training tools. So these are example of risk. How to mitigate this? Lack of training tools. What do you think? Macam mana? Mitigate here means reduce the impact of the severity or seriously or the bad effect. How to mitigate the risk there just now? Anyone? Any idea? Some more other answer. Some more answer. One student so far. How about other answer? How to mitigate risk mitigation? What necessary action can be done to ensure that the impact of the risk is lesser? Yeah. Training tools. Add more training tools. Would it be at cost? Lack of training tool. Then your answer here is develop training tools. Hey, then you need another resources to do that, isn't it? Higher user involvement in a development. So the problem now is not enough training tools. How to solve this? Outsource, yeah, that is the common answer. I mean, what is it? Common solution. Outsource to other company. Yes, that's a standard answer. Outsource. No worry, we have more exercise on in the tutorial about these mitigations. Okay, let's continue here. Look at the example. So using the CTC format. What is this CTC? Subcoordinates. Yeah, we look at the definitions of that. Given that all reusable software component must conform to specific design standard, but now only 70% planned reusable model actually integrated, but there are still remaining 30%. So the condition above can be refined. Yeah, the condition above can be refined to subcondition 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, listed here 3 subcondition. So number 1, certain reusable component were developed by third party with no knowledge. The design standard for component interfaces has not been solidified or might not conform to the existing component. Subcondition number 3, certain reusable components have been implemented in a language that not supported on the target environment. So now they are go further, they are list out more further the condition um, or the risk or the problem that occur in the organization. So the consequences associated with this refined subconditional remain the same. Yeah, let's say 30% of a software component must be a custom engineer, remain unchanged. But the refinement here might help to isolate. So this refinement might help to isolate the risk now become subcondition 1, 2, 3, where lead to more easier to understand and more easier to analyze. This is what we call uh, risk refinement. So we look at the next one. So during the stage, the risk may be stated quite generally. Condition, transition, consequences. We said, I think the slide terbalik should be here in front. No wonder, because example here. Okay, this slide and this slide have to interchange. Suppose this slide first. Okay, followed by this slide. And here. So CTC, condition, transition, consequences. So example, we already discussed. Now we look at effective risk management strategy must consider 3 issues. This one, this slide, very important. Okay, take note this slide. So what we are learning now, we are learning the risk management strategy. Highlight this slide. So what is a risk mitigation? Option, action, enhance opportunity, reduce, keyword. Reduce threat towards the project objective. How about monitoring and control? So 3 objectives here: to access, to ensure, and then number 3, collect information that can be used to further analyze the risk. So controlling the risk might involve carry out the risk management plan. So risk management plan, this one we done at the beginning. So the main output of risk monitoring and controlling is corrective action. We learned this. Okay, we learned this. I hope you all still remember what is this. So after identify the issue, we have to list out how to mitigate the risk. And then also, under this stage, what we can do. Yeah, we are monitoring and then how we can control the occurrence of the risk. What we can do, what action we can propose to mitigate the risk. Risk management and contingency planning here. What is this about? We look at the definition here. okay, and that the risk has become reality. Consists of action to be taken in the event of mitigation effort have failed. So mean if this part fail and the risks occur, reality become reality mean it happened. So how to do? Yeah, what effort that can be done? Oh. So other than risk mitigation, yeah, other than risk mitigation, monetary management, here also we have risk acceptance, okay, avoidance, reduction, and also risk transfer. So what is a risk acceptance? As the name, you just accept, no choice. Accept the consequences as well. Accept the damage. Risk avoidance mean you try to not doing it. Try to do some necessary action to avoid the risk. How about risk reduction? Reduce. Yeah, reduce the occurrence. How about risk transfer? For the example here, transfer the risk to another person. Outsource. If let's say currently project with not enough expertise, this is a risk, not enough experienced staff. So how to overcome, how to mitigate, or how to solve the problem, we use this strategy. Okay, we use this strategy, transfer the risk to another party, which we outsource. Okay, for larger project, they will use 80-20 rules. But anyway, you may just, what does it mean? You refer to the risk information sheet below. Okay, please take this also, your main reference, this one. So now, based on the past history and the management intuition, high staff turnover, critical impact to the project cost and schedule. So now they're talking about this issue. So how to mitigate? Meet with them. Determine what is the causes. What else? Develop techniques to ensure continuity when people leave. What else? Make sure the information, information about the team development has to be shared, equal, dispersed to everyone, even including new staff. Peer review, assign backup staff. This is mitigation. How about monitoring? Monitor their performance and also monitor their attitude. And not easier, this part. Project manager have to always monitor the performance of their team member. Is there any odd attitudes? Project pressure is up to individuals. Some feel so pressure, some not think so. Assess the interpersonal relationship. What else to be monitored? Check potential problem with now high staff turnover. Is it because of the benefit not enough, compensation issue? Monitor the availability of jobs within the company and also outside the company. This is also they need to monitor. Is it they are offer better job from other similar company? That's also can be suggested here. How about management? If any staff announce that they will be leaving, when the project is underway, following the mitigation strategy to ensure that backup is available, information is well documented. Why this one required? Okay, why required well documented information? High staff turnover. If experienced staff leaving, if you have a well documented information, this will be the main source, main learning tools to the new staff. Yeah, you give them plenty of information and relevant, they know the progress of the project, so they can cope in a shorter time. Rather than you have to brief them one by one from the earlier stage, you can refer to the document. Next one, knowledge has been dispersed across the team. So in addition, we can temporarily refocus. This is also another important. So in management, yeah, when high staff turnover, so the project team or project manager, they can temporarily refocus resources. What is it about? Enable newcomer can get up the speed. And also the person, the staff who are leaving, ask them stop their job first. They don't have to do their task anymore because they are leaving. So at the last 2 months, perhaps you can ask them to transfer their knowledge. This is how you manage your risk. Mitigation already have, monitoring already done. Now how to manage, perform this. So knowledge transfer mode, this can be done through video-based knowledge capture, through documentation, through meeting with other team members who will still remain on the project. This is how we manage. So this is a very good document. Please take it as your main reference. For your, this one, get some idea to write in your project. So last 2 slide, I guess, yeah. You look at here, safety, risk, and hazard. Risk is not limited to the software itself, but the risk also occur after the product deliver. Internal and external, we learned before, right? Internal, before the product release, now release to customer, also there are risks. Software failure. After the product delivered to customer, then we receive complaint. Software not working, problem, errors. Okay, and then this is a questions. Next one. You look at the next slide. So what is this about? Software quality assurance activity that focus on the identifications and assessment potential hazard may affect software negatively and cause entire system to fail. So there is always good if we can identify anything goes wrong at the earlier stage, so that we can eliminate the problems as soon as possible. The earliest we can found, we can solve, the better. That's all. Chapter number 5. Seems like not so many pages, but how come I talk a lot today? 2 hours. So after my class tonight, please solve tutorial number 5. 4 questions only. Everyone still here? So sad every time I have to ask. Everyone still here? Still alert? Physically here? Or physically here but mentally not here? Both also not in. Physical, mentally, semua dia ada. Question number 1. Refer beam scope again. Explain. Give appropriate example. Risk management strategy, you have a risk acceptance, risk mitigation. There are few there. But here, there only one, acceptance, mitigation, and transfer. So you just need to explain these three. Give relevant examples. How are they going to transfer their risks in a beam scope? You give example, relevant one. So question number 2. 2 strategy to manage the risk. Any 2 relevant strategy. Question number 3, this one just a simple calculation. 2 decimal places. Propose 1 strategy with higher priority. Question number 4, 2 potential risks. And then the last one, you need to prepare the risk log. So this is a good preparation before. Tomorrow we have to discuss all this. And then at the, weekend, you might use the time to settle your project, your risk log. Submission assignment next week. This one. 4 questions only. Please try to solve it before you join the class tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock. How many hours later? Less than. What time now? About 10 hours later. Any question for today? No. So we are on the track, yeah? We settle whatever we need to learn before your submission. After that, we will focus on your presentation, group presentation, 3 more chapter, week 5, week 6, week 7, and week 8. But I will reserve last class for revision purposes. If no question, we will dismiss for today. Thank you very much, all of you. Have a good rest tonight. See you tomorrow morning.